All right, let's get started. Tension, throw. Chung-yi. Good. Okay, let's just start jogging on the spot. Okay, hello. Good. So it's a good one in this one. Well, there's quite a few good ones in this one. Let's blue stripes for a minute too. Black belts, we'll perhaps pick something up in a little while. All right, blue belts. When you do double forearm block, double forearm block is a very, very powerful block. Hence, it has its reinforcement. You are designed to block something that's swinging, big haymaker, you know, something that's heavy. You know, it's coming in at you. You've got to have more than just one arm to block this. You've got to use two hands to block this. Now, a lot of the reasons why techniques are performed the way they are is born from competition. So we had this briefly in the other lesson a couple of weeks ago, and I'll just quickly mention it now. The knife hand guarding block is a classic example. A knife hand guarding block for competition, nice straight fingers, exaggerated technique. It's almost a fixed stance rather than an L stance, and it's all opened out. It looks very pretty, very straight, very elegant. The difference between that and a proper knife hand guarding block is very different. So I try and continue to teach both, because I do have some students that love tournaments. They're very popular in the tournaments. They love going to tournaments, and I try and say, look, this is what you want to be doing to get noticed by judges. This is what you want to be doing to learn the Tae Kwon traditional martial art, and there's two very different things. So this double forearm is a classic one. A double forearm. Let me go from move to move. So when we finish this move here, we step up, and the hands are here, and we swing down and forward to this move. Let me do it from a straight line. So imagine you're looking at me from, I've done my first double forearm block, I step up to this position, okay, and then I come down, and I do another double forearm block, okay, and it's come down and moving away. That's just not how that technique is designed to work. Another mistake is, I shouldn't say mistake, should I? Apologies for those of you doing it. Another alternative is, when you come from this position, you have your arms out to the side and you bring them across and forwards. And both of them are dropping down. Now, I've been very fortunate to get involved with developing a machine that measures power, and that has really opened up a massive can of worms for me. This is one of them. If I drop, okay, both hands into the technique, and my supporting hand comes into the elbow, it reinforces my elbow, okay? And if I hit anything with the inner forearm, and my hand is dropping into the elbow to reinforce it, okay, it actually weakens the technique. So it's a bit kind of black belt level. We can address it in a little while. But for those of you just learning your Yulgok and having a go, try not to let it come over the top. Try not to let it swing from the side. It wants to literally come across your body. And the front hand wants to be coming sort of eye level, a bit higher than that, maybe forehead, and dropping. The back hand is solar plexus and wants to come up. And what you're doing is you're creating this arrowhead to one point. So now, when this backhand comes up into my elbow, it's actually driving in, okay, and not dropping it down. Okay, I want to drive in and up into it. Okay, so the front hand drops. We've got that gravity assistance here. Drop, body weight drop. So this is dropping here, and this one is a midsection solar plexus, and is coming up to it. And try and create this hammerhead. Again, it's probably not something your instructors are going to have taught you, but have a go at it. Jumbi, let's have a go. Left leg forwards, we'll do this on the spot, and we'll practice. Front hand is dropping, back hand is rising. Forwards, my time. Hana! Two! Set! Net! Tasso! Yasso! Ilgo! Yado! That's it, Jane. Good. Yo. That's it. It's so just watching Jane, a few of you, it's, you know, when we've practiced doing these things, sorry, let me switch back to me. When we've practiced doing these things for years and years, and all of a sudden somebody comes along, throws a spanner in the works and says, well, I haven't got this, it's really alien. And whilst your instinct is going, oh, that just feels so uncomfortable, you need to spend a bit of time with it and just see how it goes. But in terms of results, I can absolutely guarantee you that is a lot more powerful than both hands dropping. In fact, the both hands dropping weakens it. So I'll leave that one go. Right. All right, so we'll go on to the senior grades now. Jungkook, current ups, Seizure. Good. Right, there's a couple in here. Again, for blue belts, let me give you a way of performing it without getting too bogged down in it. And then for black belts, we'll perhaps go through it in a bit more detail. Right, the palm upwards block. So we come here, first move, second move here, and then we go into the palm upwards block. Now, I was taught, and most people were taught, to perform it where you go forwards and you tip your hip backwards. Okay, and you're performing it this way. Okay, so 1 here, 2, and then 3. And that feels quite comfortable still. I was drilled with that for many years. However, what are you doing with your hip? Okay, so I'm just going to draw your attention to think about what you're doing. And this is what, when I say mechanics of Taekwondo, this is really what I mean. This is kind of the crux of what we're talking about here. If I was to punch forward, okay, or upward for that matter, would I throw my hip backwards? Okay, have a go. Do an upset punch. Everyone do an upset punch, but throw your hip backwards. Have a go. Just entertain yourself for a minute. Think of it as a punch. Throw yourself upwards. Let me have a look at it. Over your front leg. So you're going to pull your punching hip backwards as you punch upwards. And I would like any of you, if you feel that that is powerful, to wave your hands and explain to me how you do that. Again, I've got the advantage of having a very clever machine. Incidentally, you'll all get to have one of them very soon. That's another story. Plug over. But if you punch upwards as you pull your hip backwards, that's almost like me pushing against the car and moving my hip backwards as I push. Okay? I'm not going to get that car very far. I have to put my hip into the technique. So, here's what you're going to do. Have a go. For those of you that have never done this, this will be completely alien and feel very awkward. However, when you do your technique here, the hand stays in front of your shoulder, okay? And you pull your hand back and you drive your hip forwards. I'm going to try and do this in stages. Drive your hip forwards, okay, behind the technique, yes? Or you know, it's snapping forwards in the technique. So normal speed here, so 1, 2, keeping it in front here, and you're driving your hip forwards with the technique. Now, there's quite a few techniques that kind of involve the hip going in the opposite direction, but I've never seen anywhere in the book other than the hip must always travel in the direction of the technique. And for that reason, if your hip is coming backwards, there is no power in that technique. The next thing to be aware of is, what is that technique for? So let me give you a simple application. Why are we not blocking it sideways, upwards, downwards, downwards? We're blocking it upwards, and we're blocking it from a hip away, and we're blocking it with the heel of our hand, because we're going to make this assumption that we are blocking somebody that has a weapon. So not only has this got to be very, very powerful, it's got to be very quick. And if you start with your hip forward, pull it backwards, you lose the power in the hip. okay? You lose the structure in your hand because you're now performing it as a scooping technique. We'll get onto that with the black belt. And you're not going to be able to drive this technique. Mainly you're looking to strike. Let me get a bit closer. You're looking to strike. If somebody's got a weapon, you're looking, a weapon of my choice. A bit of duct tape, okay? You're looking to strike under the wrist here, okay? You're looking to strike under the wrist very, very aggressively, very powerfully to cause whatever that is in the hand to be disabled. So you want as much as possible power, strength, speed, acceleration into that as you can get. So when you've done this position here, that's the technique here, this way. So you hit this into it from here, not this way here. Looks very nice, looks very pretty, but it's not very powerful. So I just wanted to have a play with.